Hello, everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Mar, and once again, this is my opinion. As you can tell from up there, it is my first impressions of the 2018 Royal Rumble. Been a while since I've done something wrestling related on the channel. I did do something for VidMe for the last takeover event of last year, but I only put it up on VidMe when that was still around, and I haven't uploaded it on to the YouTube yet. I think I probably will after I get around to watching Takeover, because I was busy yesterday because of con and post-con stuff. I was unable to watch it, and I didn't have the time today. And I wanted to watch the Royal Rumble when it's live because of how WWE's been the last couple years. There have only been a handful of pay-per-views that I actually like to watch live in their entirety. Some I'll just watch the matches I'm interested in, but the big four I always sit down and watch. Especially Mania, but it's Mania. You got to sit down and watch it. Now, because of time, I watched the pay-per-view out of order. I came into it in the middle of the Royal Rumble match. Now, to start off, the first match on the main card, which was the match I just went back and watched, was AJ Styles defending the WWE Championship against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in a handicap match. I've enjoyed the story that led up to this match. Owens and Zayn with their heelish attacks on Styles. Styles basically telling Bryan, why don't you just make it a handicap match? And Bryan being like, that's a good idea, Styles. And continuing the little bit of the rift between Bryan and Commissioner Shane McMahon. We'll see if that goes anywhere on Tuesday. Now, the match, I know that some people in one of the groups I'm in were a little tiffed that this was the opener. But considering how the rest of the card is splayed out, I could see why this was put as the opener on the official card. And I'm trying to think, when was the last time a world title was defended in the opener? The last time I could think of was Edge's last match against Del Rio, but you can kind of see why they put that there. Now, in ring, I thought the match was pretty good. Did what an opener has to do, get the crowd pumped up, and told the story it needed to tell. And in the end, Styles retained. I do like what they did is that they had Kevin Owens look like he was going to go for the pop-up powerbomb, but then Styles reversed it into a pin, and he got the win. And if I watched one of the part of the match correctly, Owens wasn't the legal man. And if that's the case, you'd know those two are going to bring that up on SmackDown. The second match I did not watch, and that was the Usos successfully defending their titles against Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin in a 2 out of 3 falls match, as I didn't really have much interest for it. Maybe I'll go back later and watch it just for the in-ring action, but for the sake of time tonight and wanting to get this video out, I decided to skip it. Now comes the match that I did start on, and that is the Royal Rumble. I do have some notes here that I will be reading off from occasionally, and that was I came in right before the number 12 entrant came out, when we were getting a lot of Rusev Day chants for Rusev, so I just love that. Rusev Day, Rusev Day. Nakamura came in at number 14. He eliminated Sami Zayn. Kofi, of course, got his usual Royal Rumble spot. What it was that one of his feet hit the floor, the other one didn't, and in order to save him, one of his partners went and actually put their body underneath his foot, so he's standing on him. And then after that, they put the pile of pancakes that they come out to the ring with under that. And he eventually got in the ring. Not the most creative one from a spectacle standpoint, but it fits their gimmick right now, and it got a chuckle out of me. Bray Wyatt was in the match when I started watching, and when Woken and Matt Hardy came out, they got the usual stare down, but they also teamed up for a little bit. And then, of course, they eliminated each other because they come to blows and they're fighting. I can imagine them fighting back down the aisle into the back and out through the building all the time. Matt Hardy doing that maniac laugh. Ha ha ha. Yes, Bray, I knew this has come. We will fight in the back and it will be delightful. John Cena came out at number 20, the usual chants. John Cena sucks. John just wallowing in them, like, yes, yes, I feed off of your anger. On commentary, Jerry the King Lawler stated that Cena was his pick. And when he came out, I'm like, they're not going to have Cena win. I know better than that. They're not going to have Cena win because they should know if they have him win at this point in his career, they're just going to get shit on. But Vince is the kind of person that he doesn't care. I mean, look how he's been forcing Roman Reigns. I mean, I like Roman Reigns, but he's been forcing his push the last couple years as if he's going, "You're gonna eat your Roman house, and you're gonna like him, damn it." Right when he came out, he got into a little tussle with Elias, and then he AA'd Elias over the top rope. Well, I guess the Drifter just drifted right out of the Royal Rumble. Number 21 was one of the nostalgia entrants, and it got a smile on my face because who was it? The Hurricane. He came in, he wasn't in that long, but he did the spot that I was expecting, and that was trying to chokeslam one of the participants. And who's he going after? John Cena. And of course, Cena AAs him on the outside. Before he got AA'd out, King said a line that I wrote down that is a fun line. It's like two superheroes meeting one another. You know, King, being the big comic book fan that he is going to say something like that, especially since most people view John Cena as getting a Superman like push. The second nostalgia uh, the second nostalgia entry of the 20s was Rey Mysterio, and this one really surprised me. Hurricane wasn't really much of a surprise in the fact that, he's one of those ones you kind of figure would come, but Rey is like, ooh. But then again, you should also be thinking, yeah, he's leaving Lucha, so it's only a matter of time before he comes back home to WWE. And he looked pretty good. He did the moves pretty well. His ring attire looked nice. He was in great shape. Makes me wonder if this is going to be a one-off, or is he going to come back to 205 Live and give them some star power? Depends on how much he weighs right now, I guess, because I think he weighs less than 205, so he should definitely fit the cruiserweight thing. Who knows? He might be a good fit for their general manager that I hear that they're talking about. Number 28 was Roman Reigns, and as you could expect, the crowd booed him to death. You could hear that boo rising up over the audience. Roman came down to his yard, as the announcers put it. First person he went after was John Cena, which was to be expected. I mean, they had that little match last year, and Cena was the biggest dog in Roman's yard. And when I say that, I say Roman's yard. And then after he cleared house a little bit, he looks at the mirrors. Then after he cleared house for a little bit, he looked at the Miz with such a glare. Because apparently, I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know what happened. On Raw 25, The Miz defeated Roman Reigns to win back the Intercontinental Championship. So Roman is miffed at this, and he took out his frustrations on The Miz. And he actually eliminated The Miz with a little help from his Shield brother, Seth Rollins. And then he eliminated Seth. This was kind of like a version of when Sid eliminated Hogan. The only difference is Seth did not throw a hissy fit like Hogan did. There was a little moment like every man for himself, but it wasn't like the sarcastic thing like Sid where he went, every man for himself, big boy. Number 29 was Gold Dust. And he had a pretty good showing in the match. Got a power slam in. Got all of his good moves in before he got eliminated. So it's nice to see Goldust out there, especially since he looks pretty good. And they mentioned on commentary that he now ties Shawn Michaels and The Big Show for 12 consecutive Royal Rumble appearances. One more and he'll tie Kane for most. So let's just see if he can get 2 more years and actually get the most Rumble appearances thing. That'd be good for the grand son of a plumber, Mac Daddy. Number 30 was Dolph Ziggler, which that was a little surprising because apparently he hasn't been seen on TV since he vacated the title. But it was a wasted thing. I mean, he got some super kicks in before he got eliminated, but he really did nothing in this match. So it's like, why did they bother bringing him in as number 30 other than an, oh my god, moment for the Mark fans? The final 6 were Nakamura, John Cena, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Finn Balor, and Rey Mysterio. This is a nice group for the final 6. And a little note I put is that if you count any major title from around the world, from any company, all 6 are former world champions. Nakamura is the only one who hasn't won one of the major titles in WWE, not counting the NXT one, but if you count in New Japan, you could say he's a world champion. And then once it got down to the final 4 in Cena and Roman were standing up, the chants started, the fans were chanting, "You both suck! You both suck!" But you gotta chuckle out of that. It's like, yeah, that's what the fans would do to him. That's what the fans are doing to Vince's Golden Boys. Then Balor got eliminated by Cena. Then Nakamura eliminated both Cena and Reigns at different intervals. And it was a struggle for this because, it's the last ones there's going to be struggle because they really want to go to WrestleMania. And Nakamura's elimination of Reigns was post-spear. I mean, there was a little bit of a lag in between the two events, but he's in the kayfabe of the match, still suffering the side effects of the spear. And they have protected Roman's spear very well. in comparison to the Superman punch. So being able to eliminate him after getting speared is an accomplishment. And Nakamura is going to WrestleMania, and according to the interview he did post-match, he's going to face AJ Styles. So this is going to be one hell of a WrestleMania main event. Because we know with those two going at each other, they're not going to take the title off Styles between now and Mania, unless they do just like a quick switch and then put it back on him. But I doubt they'll do that. Because they got the perfect story for these two. Their history in Japan, their little back and forths that they've been going through since they both come to WWE, mainly, little crossing paths in the back. I don't usually talk about the commercials, but the next one was such a WTF moment that I had to bring it up. I know they're doing cross promotion with KFC, having the Colonel be a downloadable character in one of the games and all that, but a Colonel Royal Rumble to determine which of the superstars is the next marketing Colonel? Are you kidding me? I mean, watching them all come out with like different things of the Colonels, one thing was like, you're really catering to the children and to the marketing partner with this one. It was just so stupid. I mean, I'd love to see Jim Cornette rant on this because I would 100% agree with him depending on how he goes with it because this was stupid. The only thing that got a chuckle out of me with this was when Goldust came out with his Goldust makeup and the Colonel thing, and when the eventual winner of the whole thing, Ric Flair, came out because he had a Colonel inspired Ric Flair robe, which I'm like, okay, that's pretty funny. But other than that, it's like, really, WWE? Really? Then after this, we got the match for the Raw Tag Team titles, which I did watch. At one point in the match, Jason Jordan got knocked to the outside, and Rollins was going at Cesaro and Sheamus by himself. When I saw this, I'm like, okay, I have a feeling that the titles are going to change hands, and they're going to do one of two things. Either they're going to have it to where Jason Jordan can no longer compete, and Seth Rollins is going to end up losing because he cannot overcome the odds, or Jason Jordan's going to turn on Rollins during or after the match, and that's going to break up the team. That might end up happening anyway, but what it was is that Jason Jordan is still knocked for a loop, whether he's kayfabe concussed or just knocked senseless because of what happened. We don't know yet, but in the end, Rollins could not overcome the odds. I mean, he had just been through a Royal Rumble match before this, so can you blame him? And Sheamus and Cesaro are the tag team champions once again. According to commentary, this is their fourth reign. After this, we had the WWE Universal Championship match where Brock Lesnar retained against Braun Strowman and Kane. This match is exactly the type of match it needed to be. It was a brawl between the three of them. Not the best triple threat match I've seen, but for what these three in the match could do, it was decent. At one point, Strowman put Brock through a table, and then Brock later returned the favor by throwing the announce table on top of Strowman, getting him out of the match. And then he F5'd Kane through the Spanish announce table. Ay Dios mío, the Spanish announce table is always getting abused. And then he took Kane in the ring, beat him up a little bit more, and then pinned the Devil's favorite demon to retain the championship. According to this, the match went a little over 10 minutes and didn't really feel like that. I thought it was clocking in more like at 6 or 7, but I guess 3 additional minutes with how this type of brawling match was. It makes sense. Now, since Roman Reigns did not win the Royal Rumble, I wonder how they're going to put him into the world title match against Lesnar, because we all know that's going to happen. I guess we're going to have to pay close attention to Raws for the next month or so to figure out. They'll probably do something at the Elimination Chamber to set it up. And then finally, we had the Women's Royal Rumble match, which went about an hour almost, which surprised me. I thought it'd be shorter, but I could definitely say after watching it, 30 women in a Women's Royal Rumble match is too damn many. I mean, I know some people might say that's sexist, but it made the show drag a little bit. I mean, I came into the show 2 matches in, but still, it felt like it was dragging. Maybe 20 max, but 30, nah. Hopefully they'll work the kinks out next year. The only good thing about having 30 is that we know there's going to be plenty of former diva entrants. And I wasn't wrong in that. I mean, we had people like Tori Wilson, Kelly, Lita, although sadly she did not have an interaction with one of the women wrestlers that came out later, and that was Trish. She was number 30, which I was wondering, like, okay, we're at number 30. Is it going to be another surprise from the past, or are they going to swerve us and have Ronda Rousey come out? Nope, it was Trish. That's the other ones from the past. Beth Phoenix, when she came out, that was pretty good because she went to face with Nia Jax for a little bit. And when Nia came in, she dominated, and then she got thrown out of the ring underneath the top rope and was out of it for a while. When she came back in, she dominated a little bit more. Then Beth came in, and she was the closest to dominating her one-on-one. And she even a couple times was trying to get her up into a fireman's carry to eliminate her. First time she didn't succeed. Second time she almost succeeded, but then Nia reversed it at the last minute. But at that point, Nia was like, "Oh, someone's actually competing with me strength to strength." Lana came out at number 13, and when she came out, there was Rusev Day chants, which that got a little chuckle out of me. Kairi Sane came in at number 6, and she actually did a couple elbow drops during the match. That was nice. Stephanie McMahon was on commentary for this thing, so she wasn't as annoying as she can be on her promos. She was more in the background, speaking up occasionally. The only thing that she said throughout the entire match that had me going, whoa, she actually said that, was when she mentioned China offhandedly. Because I forget which of the other commentators was saying, it might have been Cole. We're talking about other great women wrestlers. And Stephanie went, don't forget the eighth wonder of the world, China. Or ninth wonder. Was it ninth wonder? Yeah, ninth wonder of the world. I forget which wonder she was supposed to be. The only one that really surprised me of the past ones that came out was Vicky Guerrero. She came out to no music, just going, "Excuse me! Excuse me!" And of course, when she came in, everyone ganged up on her, and that got her eliminated. But it was just a fun little comedy spot. The one thing that I wonder what would have happened is if her daughter, who apparently is trying to become a wrestler, had already been up on the main roster and was in the match. That would have been a funny interaction. It would have been like, "Mom, what are you doing in this match? You are so embarrassing me." Auska came in at 25, and of course there were "Auska's gonna kill you" chants. She did pretty good. I mean, she got beat up a little bit more in this match than she probably should have been, but since it's a Royal Rumble, you can make the excuse there. You know, Auska, big threat to everyone else, so they're gonna go after her just like they'd go after Nia. Ember Moon came out before that a little bit. I mean, she's still a little beat up from Takeover, but that one was the only current day surprise. And at one point, she and Auska had a little stare down, and it led to them exchanging some moves. And Auska eventually eliminated Ember Moon by exploiting her injured arm when she was on the apron. You know, taking it, knocking it against the rope. She falls back, all thing. If you're gonna have an injury, you know your opponent's gonna exploit it at one point, and Auska did. I really can't wait for Ember to actually come up to the main roster so these two could continue their feud. Mickie James and the Bellas were both in. The Bellas were part of the Final Four. And in the end, who won? Auska. So Auska is going to WrestleMania to challenge for one of the titles. This is interesting that both Royal Rumble winners are Japanese wrestlers. Is this a clue that Vince is finally going to push Japanese into an extension Asian wrestlers in a manner that is not stereotypical, like Kai and Tai and Kenzo Suzuki? We'll just see. The thing that really made this and left the Royal Rumble on an oh my god moment, which when you look at this, okay, that explains why they put the women on last, was who should come out at the end of the match but Ronda Rousey. The thing that I really did like about this was that the fans were into it and what theme they gave her. They gave her bad reputation. Don't give a damn about my bad reputation. I hope she keeps that theme throughout the rest of her appearances, even if it's just a one off. If she has a match at WrestleMania, I'd love to see her come out to that. And she did. She didn't get into any fights. What she did, she came out, looked at, pointed at the WrestleMania sign, shook Asuka's hand, which hints that they may or may not have a match at one point, or maybe they'll team together at one point. Then she walked outside, went over to the announce table, looked at Stephanie, and then shook Stephanie's hand. There was a little tension going through the air at that point because of what happened the last two these two met a couple WrestleManias ago. So maybe that's what she came in. She's gonna have a match with Stephanie and then kick Stephanie's McMahon ass. Only time will tell. At the end of the day, this Royal Rumble was decent. I mean, it's better than the last couple Royal Rumbles have been, but that's because the last couple ones, they've either had winners that the build after them were the subpar or royally pissed the fans off. So for that, I will say it is, as a whole, better than the last couple ones, at least when it comes to the Royal Rumble match. I haven't seen every Royal Rumble pay-per-view, so I can't say it's the best. I'd say it's probably somewhere in the middle, but it's one that at the end of the day, I don't feel I wasted my time. If I lived in Philadelphia, I would have gone to this one definitely. We'll just see. I mean, depending on how my work thing is next year, the Royal Rumble is going to be one state over. I know if I can, I'll try to go to the takeover there. I know I'm going to try to do the one out here in November, but we'll just see how finances and time allows. At the very least, I'd like to go to the takeover in Arizona next year, but who knows? Maybe I can do a twofer depending on how my liquidity is.